Hey guys, we are back down in my basement today doing some seed starting. We have mostly our peppers to get in. They take a really long time to get ready to go outside. I don't have the longest of grow periods here. I am in zone 6B, so I have to start them fairly early. It's mid-February right now, and I'm going to go ahead and get them started. We also have our artichoke to get in. It has been sitting up in the fridge for the last 2 weeks having its cold period, and we're going to give that a try this year. So I'm going to get that into the trays, and then finally, we're not huge fans of eggplant, but I do like to grow one because we do like to splurge and make some eggplant parmesan at least once a year. So I will go ahead and grow one just in kind of my like random offshoot box or in a bag on the patio or something like that. So we're going to get that started as well. So the first thing we're going to talk a little bit about is our sweet peppers. I have two different varieties here. One is the California Wonder, which I think is a fairly standard one that many people grow. I also went ahead and got a Cabernet hybrid. It's supposed to go a little more red. I had a lot of trouble last year getting my peppers to turn red. I had tons and tons of green ones, but then they would kind of go that yellow orange color, and then they never got to that full red color. So I'm hoping that this variety might do a little bit better. It's supposed to produce some really pretty red peppers, so I'm going to give those a shot. We did pretty well last year as far as how much we got. It's definitely not enough to keep us through the whole year. So I'm increasing the number of plants I'm going to have out. I think last year I had 12 maybe or 9, and this year we're doing 16. So that'll be split between the Cabernet hybrid and the California Wonder. It'll be 8 of each, and hopefully that'll give us plenty to get through the year. Let's talk about our hot peppers. So I have 3 varieties of hot peppers. I have the Italian Peppercini, which is a new variety for me this year. I haven't tried it before, but we do love pepperoncinis, like preserved pepperoncinis, on our sandwiches. So I wanted to see if I could make them homemade, and I just really like the flavor of this type of pepper. So I'm going to see how well it does in my garden. We have jalapenos. We love jalapeno poppers. We love putting this in salsa. We're big fans of jalapenos, so we're definitely going to have these again this year. And lastly, a really spicy one, the Habaneros. Again, we like to use this in salsa. I definitely know that my salsa needs more of these. This year, my hot salsa turned out pretty lame, or pretty mild. So we want to add more spice to it this year. So I'm definitely going to be growing some more habanero. These did really well. The habaneros did really well. The bush was absolutely loaded throughout the season, so I'm only going to be planting one of those. The jalapenos did really well as well, but we love to eat them as jalapeno poppers, like I said, so we'll be growing 3 bushes of these, and probably just the 2 for the Italian Peppercini as an experiment to see how well they do. Peppers are notorious for not being able to germinate very well, so I double up on my pepper seeds as far as planting. I don't do 1 per little tiny square. I do 2. If I grow 2, that's great. Sometimes nothing comes up in one and I have an extra now, or if everything comes up really well, I just pinch off the ones that don't look as good as their fellows and let the good ones grow. So as far as our artichoke grows, we are just going to take them out of the bag and put them 1 per cell inside and see how well they germinate. I don't know if they germinate well or not, and we'll probably do 6. When it comes to the eggplant, we don't eat too much eggplant. I do enjoy it, but it's a lot of work to make it taste really good. We do love eggplant parmesan, so I'm just going to grow the one and again double up in my cell to try and make sure that I get one that sprouts. So here we have our first tray that we started a couple weeks ago. As you can see, I have a bunch of celery coming up. To be expected, those seeds are really small. Even though I tried my best to only get a few in each cell, it came up a lot. So I will probably be thinning these out in another couple days, if not to a week, just to the strongest, best ones that I can see, so they all have a good chance to grow and they're not trying to compete with each other too much. I also have some of my Brussels sprouts coming up. I only had 3 come up. I went ahead and replanted. I don't know the germination rate of Brussels sprouts, so I don't know if they're good or bad, but I want to make sure that I get enough of them. So I went ahead and added a couple more into these empty cells where they did not come up. This last little row, I'm going to go ahead and put all of my jalapeno peppers. That should give me plenty, hopefully plants to plant out later. So as you saw, I make my holes with just a long metal chopstick. I find it easier than poking my finger in all the time. So that's a little tool that you can use. And I have a bunch of tags left over from last year that I saved, so I've just been kind of searching through them to find the things that I know that I did last year. So if my math works out correctly, I will have 2 rows of California Wonder, I'll have 2 rows of my Cabernet Hybrid, I'll have a row that is split between the Habanero and the Peppercinis. I'm not putting these very deep. I'm just making a small enough hole that it can go just above the surface, and that when I tamp down the dirt on top of it, it is about 1/4 inch above or below the surface. The second one, the sweet Cabernet, or the Cabernet Hybrid. Onto the rest of our hot peppers, which is our Italian peppercini and habanero. These last little ones, I am just going to throw my artichoke and my eggplant in. Well, that's it, guys. This is stage 2 of seed planting for this year. I think next week or week after that, we are going to be moving on to broccoli, cabbage, and our tomatoes. So I hope this is helping you guys get excited for the spring and getting all these plants outside. I hope this is getting you guys excited for the summer. It's certainly getting me super excited for it. I love coming down here and seeing all of my little green things popping up out of the ground. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So I was just out here moving some of the wood that I just bought to make my trellis plant. And I thought I'd show you guys. I have a little bit of garlic poking through down here. It is some that I am overwintering, and it is just starting to come up. Now it is about February 16th, 15th right here today. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be coming up or not, but it seems to be perfectly happy to do so. So I'm really excited to see this. I did really terribly with my garlic last year, so hopefully I will get a good crop.